And then, of course, aside from the sandwiches, we also have the beverages. So these are the beverages. We have orange juice and a coffee. So sa tingin ninyo, ano kaya yung mga possible outcomes kung ito yung choices na meron tayo? Hello? Are we still there? Guerrero, nandiyan pa ba kayo? Paki-turn on yung mic, magsalita kung nandiyan pa kayo. Para ma-check ko kung sino yung wala dyan.
Ma'am.
Oh, nagsalita ni Dolid, si Manugid. How about others?
Ma'am.
Nabusa,
Ma'am.
Torres, Luis Ampas,
Ma'am.
Yanez, Aquino. Si Baguio, nandyan ba? Si Avendaño, naka-turn on yung mic pero hindi naman nagsalita. Kalompiano, wala ba? Si Lazada, nandyan pala sa Kalompiano. Si David.
Ma'am.
Okay. Si Valencio ba nagsalita?
Opo.
Okay. So sa tingin ninyo, ilagay natin kayo dun sa sitwasyon nila. Like for example, you are the frontline. And syempre, pagod ka sa trabaho. So ang gagawin mo pagdating ng break time, di ba, may time naman yan para magmerienda. At meron kayong 3 choices for the sandwiches and 2 choices for the beverages. All in all, ilan kaya yung mga pwedeng maging choice ninyo or number of choices ninyo when you have to choose one of each? One sandwich and one beverage. Ilan kaya yung pwede nyo pagpilian?
6.
6. Why is it 6? Bakit kaya 6?
Ma'am, hamburger orange, hamburger coffee, chicken orange, chicken coffee, egg orange, egg coffee.
Okay, so ang ginawa ni Ambas is that he paired each sandwich with a beverage. So kapag pinair mo yan, ibig sabihin hamburger orange juice, hamburger coffee, ganon din sa chicken and egg sandwich. Okay, so all in all, there are 6 choices to choose from. So ito yung binanggit niya kanina. Yan yung mga choices na pwedeng pagpilian ng ating mga frontliners. Okay, so let us proceed now to the lesson. In our lesson, I have here a trivia. Do you know what an anagram is? Or are you familiar with an anagram? So if not, I have here the definition. And this is the definition of an anagram. An anagram is a type of wordplay, the result of arranging the letters of the word or phrase to produce a new word or phrase using the original letters exactly once. Like for example, the word ear is an anagram of the word hire. Now, as you can see here, we have here the word ear. It has letters, 4 letters, H-E-R-E, H-E-I-R. And if you rearrange the letters, you can form another word, and that is hire, with a spelling of H-I-R-E. So what you're going to do is, you will be arranging the letters of the following words, and then you'll give me the word that you formed. So para mas madali niyo ma-form yan, and we have certain words to form, I have here a hint. Remember that the words that you will form is a body part. So let us have for letter A, R, letter B, gel, letter C, ramp, D, sink, E, lamp, F, fringe, G, earth, and H, import. So what do you think is the word? Sino yung nagtataas? Ambas. For letter E.
A, ma'am, ear.
Ear. Letter B, Torres.
Legs.
Leg. Letter C, Arabis. Raise niyo lang yung hand niyo para
Arm.
tawag ko kayo. Arm. Letter D, Valladolid. Ano? Oh, Valencia. Letter D,
Skin po.
skin. Talumpiano. Do you want to answer? Oh, Saboko muna. Saboko. Letter E.
Palm.
Ano daw?
Palm po.
Palm. Okay, next. David.
Finger, ma'am.
Finger. Next. Lazada.
Heart po.
Heart. And then last, Valladolid. Ready ka na ba sumagot? Hindi na siya naka-raise ng hand. Manugid.
Armpit po.
Armpit. Ganon din ba sagot mo, Arabis?
Opo.
Opo. So, the last word is armpit. So, how did you get the words? Aside from using the clues, what did you do to the letters? Simply
Rumble.
rumble or rearrange the letters or change their arrangement, right? Of course, certain words have definition or meaning, and then if you rearrange them and if you come up to another word that has a meaning, and that is what we call the anagram. So there is arrangement, there are positions. Now, when we say when we talk of the word arrangement, in math, it has something to do, or it is usually associated with the word permutation. When we say permutation, it has to do with arrangement, or it involves arrangement. It is the process of arranging objects, elements. Okay, so for us to find the more about permutation, let us proceed to the definition. The permutation of the set of objects is an ordered arrangement of the items. So it is an ordered arrangement of an item. So let us have an example. So for our example number 1, we have to list all the possible three-letter arrangement in the word here. So of course, there are three letters. So we will use all of them and we will create different arrangements. So let me start with letter E. So if I start the letter E, of course, bago ko mag-start dyan, sa unang pwesto, or since there are three letters, of course, there are three positions, there are three places. So sa unang position, for example, pinili ko si E from the three letters. So kung si E pinili ko, syempre natitira dalawang letter na lang for the second position. Now, for the third position, syempre kung pinili ko si A, ang natitirang letter na lang ay si R. And it gives me an arrangement EAR. Now, yung pangalawa, if I start with E and followed by R, syempre ang last letter na pwede kong gamitin is A, which gives me an arrangement ERA. Then if I do the same process, and I start the arrangement with letter A, we will have the following arrangement: A, ER, and ARA. Now, if I do the same with letter R, starting the arrangement with letter R, I'll have REA and RAA. So as you can see, ang kailangan lang naman natin dito is a three-letter arrangement, whether it has a definition or not, but as long as it is an arrangement using the letters in the word ear, it is acceptable. So how many arrangements do we have? We have 6 arrangements in total. Okay. Now, let us proceed to example number 2. Here in example number 2, we are asked how many three-letter arrangement in the word ear can be formed satisfying the given conditions. So here are the given conditions. So letter A, remember that we have this result earlier to our example number 1, and we will use that to answer example number 2. So for letter A, the first condition is the first letter is E. So how many of the following arrangement whose first letter is E? Ilan kaya dito?
2.
Yes, sige. Pwede nyo turn on yung mic niya if you want to. Ilan kaya dito sa arrangement natin that starts with letter E?
Dalawa po.
Dalawa po. Yes, correct. Letter B, the vowels are together. How many of the arrangement follows the condition that the vowels are together?
4.
Apat. Correct. How about letter C? The vowels are not together. How many arrangements?
2.
There are.
2.
Ilan po?
2.
2.
2 arrangements. Okay. So let's find out if our answers are all correct. So first letter is E. There are 2 arrangements, and that's EAR and ERE. How about for letter B? The vowels are together. Yes, there are 4 arrangements. Correct. EAR, AER, REA, and RAE. How about if the vowels are not together? There are 2 arrangements for, and that's ERA and ARE. So let's proceed now to example number 3. Now we are going to identify which of the following shows permutation. What does permutation mean? It is an ordered arrangement. Okay? So all you have to do is to remember that permutation is an ordered arrangement of an object or item. Objects or items. So let us have letter A. Please read letter A, Patricio.
The number of vice presidents, a vice president, and a treasurer can be chosen from a group of 20 persons.
Okay. How about Avendaño, letter B?
Aki is planning to purchase a photo album. It comes in small, medium, and large, and the cover comes in soft bound. The pages can be glossy or silk, and the print of colored or black and white. How many choices that we have for the photo album?
How about letter C? Let us have Biluan. Biluan. No po. Biluan. Wala ba si Biluan? Hermenegildo.
Yes, ma'am.
Letter C.
The number of four-digit code that can be made using the digits from 0 to 9 if the repetition of the digits are not allowed.
Okay. So, as you can see, there are 3 situations here. And all we have to do is to identify alin dyan ang permutation. Is it A, B, or C? So I want you to think of the situation given in each problem, then I want you to tell me if it's permutation or not. Kayo bahala if it's A, B, or C. Then later we will discuss why is it permutation and why is it not. So for letter A, I mean, pili kayo ng isa. Alin kaya dyan sa tingin ninyo? You can use the chat box if you want to choose. Isang letter, you're going to choose which letter. 2 letters only. You use the chat box na. Ano po? Anong letter? Nandiyan pa kayo? Sabihin niyo sa akin ano pong letter. Ay, walang sumasagot. So let us have letter A. The number of ways a president, a vice president, and a treasurer can be chosen from a group of 20 persons. Do you think there is an involvement of arrangement here? By the way, when we say permutation, it has something to do with arrangement. Arrangement matters. The order matters. Do you think letter A, yung order ba, matters sa situation na to? Does it matter if you want to choose a president, a vice, and a treasurer? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Other answer. Kunwari pipili ako sa inyo. Kunwari, tulad niyan 20 kayo dito. Pipili ako sa inyo ng isa to be the president, isa to be the vice president, and isa to be the treasurer. For example, I chose Migueldo as the president, Avendaño as the vice president, and Patricio or Sila for treasurer. Is it the same if I start I chose Patricio as the president, vice president is Avendaño, and treasurer is Hermenegildo or si Rob? Pareho ba yun? O magkaiba? Ang president ko kanina, si Rob, then si Jericho yung vice, si Sila yung treasurer. Tapos nagbago isip ko, biglang pinili ko si Sila yung president, si Jericho yung vice, at si Rob yung treasurer. Yung dalawang arrangement na yon, are they the same or different? Different, of course. Totally different. That is why letter A is permutation. Because the order or the arrangement really matters. If you choose, okay, like for example, I chose the same set. Si Rob pa rin naman yon ang kasama sa pinili ko, kasama pa rin naman doon si Jericho, kasama pa rin naman doon si Syla. Pero magkaiba na yung posisyon at yung arrangement nila. Therefore, the situation is different. Magkakaiba na yung arrangement. And that is what permutation is. Remember that when we say permutation, the order matters, the arrangement matters. So, if you chose different person for that position, at kapag naka-encounter kayo ng situation or problem that pertains to a certain position, like for example, a vice president, president, first champion, first runner-up, second runner-up. Yung mga ganun po, basta may binanggit na posisyon, that usually pertains to permutation. Okay? And at the same time, it involves a certain group of person or namimili ka lang from a certain group of person tulad nito. Or may grupo ka lang, isang grupo na pinagpipilian. So, kaya yung letter A, permutation yan. So, how about letter B? Sabi nga dyan, namimili siya kung aling size, anong klaseng cover, anong itsura ng pages, at anong klase ng print yung meron ng photo album niya. Do you think it's permutation? Is it yes or no?
Yes. No.
Naguluhan na ako. May yes, may no. So I want you to raise your hand if your answer is yes. At the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. If your answer is yes, please raise your hand. How about the others? Oh, so tatlo nag-yes. That's Rob, Ambas, and Saboko. Ganon din sa Rabusa. How about yung no? Kasi si Torres. Yes ka ba, Torres?
Opo.
How about yung no? Kasi parang may narinig akong no kanina. Please lower your hand. So, sino naman yung nagsabing no? Si Villadolid. Sino pa? Wala na, si Villadolid lang. Ay, yung iba. Ano yung sagot ng iba? Wala lang pong ma'am. Bala ka dyan. Ano pa yung sagot ng iba? Wait nga, set up ko lang yung digital platform. Wait lang, wait. Why do you say yes? Bakit yes yung sagot ng iba? At bakit naman no yung kay Villadolid? Yes, Saboko?
Ma'am, pwedeng i-ano ni Aki yung order nung sa album kung anong gusto niya. Base dun sa base sa size tapos dun sa texture tapos yung kasi iba pong components pa nung album. Pwede siya mamili kung anong gusto niya dun sa lahat ng choices.
Okay. So, yung mo sabihin, kaya mo nasabi yan kasi may mga choices siya. Iba-ibang choices. So, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng permutation? When we say permutation, it pertains to an ordered pair of arrangement. I mean, ordered arrangement of an item. Hindi ordered pair. Ordered arrangement of an item. So let me share you my screen. Copy-paste lang natin yung problem. And let us identify if this is really permutation. So, sabi natin kanina, namimili tayo, di ba? Namimili tayo sa choices natin. So, meron tayong sizes, Pangat ang sulat ko. Ito lang. Gusto ko lang ng konti. So, meron tayo dito ang sizes. Ano pa? Yung klase ng cover. Yung klase ng page. At yung klase ng print. Right? So, sa sizes, pwedeng small, medium, or large. Sa cover, it can be soft or hardbound. S for soft, H for hardbound. Sa pages, it can be glossy or silk. And sa print, it can be colored or black and white. So, kunwari namili tayo dyan. So, anong gusto nyong size ng photo album? Mamili tayo. Pili kayo dyan ng size. Do you want it small, medium, or large?
Medium, ma'am.
Large.
Medium. Okay. How about the cover?
Soft.
Is it hard? Ano pa? Page. Glossy or silk?
Gloss. Silk.
Glossy. Print.
Colored.
Color. So, let me write our choices. Ang choice natin is medium. Ay. Ang choices natin ay medium, hard, glossy, and color. So, yun yung una nating arrangement, okay? So, from this, paano kung tinanong tayo, inuna yung page, anong gusto niyo pong page? Gusto ko po glossy. Sabihin natin glossy. Eh, anong klaseng print po yung gusto nyo? Ay, gusto ko po yung colored. Anong size po ba? Medium. At ano pong cover? Siyempre po, ang gusto ko yung hardcover, hardbound. Now, this is another arrangement, right? Panibagong arrangement to. Pero the question here is it different from this? Magkaiba ba silang dalawa? Do you think kapag nagawa na yung photo album, magkaiba sila ng itsura?
Hindi po.
Hindi po. Pareho lang. Kung pareho lang, my question is, does the order matter? Order or arrangement matter? Dito sa sitwasyon na to?
No.
No. Definitely no. They are the same. Pareho lang sila. Ibig sabihin, whether alin dyan ang mauna sa kanila, whether mauna si colored and so on and so forth, magbali-baliktad man yung arrangement nila, still, they will produce one product. The product is still the same. Meaning, the order doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in this situation. Meaning, if you have different choices, tulad nito, magkakaiba ng choices, right? If you have different choices, ano yun? Yes, ang bahas? Oh. Ano daw? Ang dami nun napindot mo.
Ma'am, yun sa space.
Huwag ka kasing chat ng chat. Yung mga ka-chat mo mamaya na. Ibig sabihin, in a given problem, if there are many choices or many group of choices, meron kayong group Tulad nito, sizes, cover, pages, group yan eh. Group ng choices yan, right? So kapag gano'n ang situation na meron tayo, at iba-ibang grupo ka namimili, or you choose from different groups, that is not permutation. This is not permutation. Dapat pag permutation, isang grupo ka lang namimili. And at the same time, if you look at the situation and you look at the arrangement, dapat the arrangement matters. Dapat yung arrangement na to at nito, though magkakapareho sila ng kasama, or I mean, tulad nito, pare-pareho lang naman silang may medium, may hard, may glossy at colored. Pero pag ganon, same set, pero magkakaiba ng arrangement, it matters. Okay? So later, tingnan natin yung definition or yung explanation why is it doesn't matter or the arrangement doesn't matter here. So how about for letter C? The number of 4-digit code that can be made using the digits from 0 to 9 if the repetition of the digits are not allowed. Sa tingin nyo, for letter C, it is, ay, di ba pala ako nakapag-share? So for letter C, it is permutation or not? Sa tingin nyo, permutation yan? Sa C.
Permutation.
Permutation. Bakit permutation?
Iisang group lang po yung 0 to 9. Char.
Yes, isang group lang yung 0 to 9. And at the same time, remember kapag gumagawa tayo ng code for our phone, kunwari ang gamit mo lang naman na number ay gusto ko kasi yung birthday ko. So ang gagamitin kong numbers ay 1, 2, 3, 4. Same birthday ko ay basta. Anong birthday niya ng 1, 2, 3, 4. Tapos, gusto ko yung 1, 2, 3, 4 lang gamit kong number. Kahit pagbali-baliktad pag pinagbali-baliktad mo yung mga numbers na yun, di ba? It will produce different arrangements. Like for example, 1, 2, 3, 4 is different from 2, 1, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. Diba? Kahit yun lang yung number na gusto mong gamitin, pero you write it or you change the arrangement. Therefore, it is a different arrangement. It is a different code. Diba? So letter C is a permutation. Because, again, you choose from the different, you choose from the same group, and at the same time, the order matters, the arrangement matters here. So let us look at the explanation. So for letter A, it's permutation because there are 3 positions. And you have to choose from the same group. And each position can be filled once. Therefore, it is permutation. For letter B, it is not permutation because the arrangement is choosing from different groups like sizes, cover, pages, and print. So choosing from different groups tend to have repetition. When we say repetition here, it pertains to the repetition of the arrangement. Like for example, kanina, sabi ko nga sa inyo, kunwari nauna kong pinili yung cover, pangalawa kong pinili yung print. Same set of choices, pero nauulit lang din siya. Kahit na magkaiba-ibang pwesto sila. Sinong nauna mo pinili, sinong pangalawa, pangatlo, and pangatlo. So repetition here pertains to the repetition of the arrangement. Nauulit yung arrangement. And if that is the case, and it will give you the same product, that is not permutation kasi the order doesn't dito. While for letter C, it is permutation because you are arranging a 4-digit code and you are choosing the numbers from the same group, which is 0 to 9. And at the same time, repetition here of the numbers are not allowed. Now, let us identify and underline the phrase or the statement in each of the following situations that shows condition. Okay? Condition, ha? Now, let us have letter A, B, and letter C. So, for letter A, I want you to read and at the same time, sabihin nyo sa akin, alin kaya dyan yung phrase or statement? Is it a sentence that contains the condition? Let us have, ano ba to? Ana is,
Ma'am,
please read.
yung A po,
Yung letter A.
Rose, Malu, and Sheena are to be arranged in a line from left to right, but Sheena wants to be placed in the right side.
So, sa tingin mo, sa problem na yan, alin kaya dyan yung nagbibigay sa'yo ng condition or it shows a condition? That is permutation, pero ang hinahanap natin ngayon is yung condition.
Si Sheena po.
Ano?
Sheena.
Ano yung condition niya? Ano yung condition na binigay niya dyan?
Arrange in a line from left to right.
Is it arranged in a line from left to right? Ano
Place
kaya? When we say condition,
to be ma'am.
po,
To be arranged.
to be arranged. Can you help her? Anyone in the group? Velasco. Velasco?
Ano ma'am? Sheena wants to be placed on right side.
Sheena wants to be placed on the right side or in the right side. That is the condition. Bakit kaya? Kasi when we say condition, there is an element or an object that needs to be placed in a certain position. Okay? So, yung letter A happens to give the situation kung saan one of the person, which is Sheena, must be placed in a certain position. Gusto niya dun siya sa right side. And that is a condition. Okay? Kasi she wants to be placed in a certain position. And that is a condition. Letter B. How about letter B? Aquino? Aquino? Letter B? Andiyan ba si Aquino? Oh, magic lang yan nakikita ko. Arabis. Please read letter B.
Rose, Bobby, and Malu are to be seated in a row. Rose and Malu want to be seated next to each other.
So what do you think is the statement or the phrase that contains the condition?
Rose and Malu want to be seated next to each other.
Okay, so sila naman dito, unlike dun sa unang situation, silang dalawa, they want to be together. So that's the condition. How about for letter C? Sa Boko.
Letter ano po, ma'am?
Letter C.
Wait lang po, ma'am.
Okay.
Ano po, ma'am, yung
Alin yung statement?
yung
Basahin mo muna.
Ano po yung kay how will you arrange Chris, Rose, Bobby, and Sheena in a row if Chris and Bobby refuse to stand beside each other?
So, alin dyan yung condition?
Ano po, ma'am? Yung si Chris and Bobby po ayaw magtabi.
Opo, ayaw mag. So, those are the conditions here in the given situations. So, dito sa first, balikan natin yung answer natin. Sheena wants to be placed in the right side. So, there is a certain position for that person. Letter B, Rose and Malu want to be seated next to each other. They want to be together. Yung letter C naman, they don't want to be together, or dito nga sabi nga sa phrase, Chris and Bobby refuse to stand beside each other. So for you to have more of what does condition mean when it comes to permutation, I have here um, the definition first of permutation. Permutation is a set of objects. Uh, of the set of objects is an ordered arrangement of the items. So when I say permutation, it pertains to the ordered arrangement of items or elements or objects. And there are situations where you are given conditions. And yung mga conditions na yun, ma-identify nyo siya because we have here three cases kung saan sila pwedeng pumasok tulad nung kanina. Diniscuss natin na three examples, sinanap natin yung condition. Like for case number 1, it is a condition if an element must be placed in a specific position. Like for example, so Sheena wants to be in the right side. So another example of this condition is that Bobby wants to be the first student or must be the first student in the lineup. So yun yung case 1 natin. If the item, the object, or the element wants to be in a specific position, must be placed in a specific position. Case number 2, if 2 or more elements must be grouped together, pag sasama-samahin mo yung mga elements, yung objects, yung items, or yung tulad nitong example na to, yung dalawang tao, si Catherine and Lorraine, they must sit together in the class. So that is another condition, and that is under case number 2. Case number 3 naman, when 2 or more elements must not be grouped together. Tulad nung kanina, si Bobby and si Chris, they don't want to stand beside each other. So that is case number 3. That belongs to case number 3 of condition. Another example is that the green book and the red book must not be placed next to each other on the shelf. So yan. So kung binigyan kayo ng situation, madali nyo malalaman kung aling phrase, anong sentence, anong statement yung nagsasabi ng condition because we have here 3 cases. Case 1, if the element must be placed in a certain position, in a specific position. Case 2, 2 or more elements must be grouped together. And case 3, 2 or more elements must not be grouped together. So that's all for our module number 1. Now, all you have to do is to answer, of course, your modules. And then let us now proceed to module number 2. So if you want to look at or to go back to our lesson today, pwede nyo naman siyang makita dito and upload ko na siya sa YouTube. Mukha kasing mas nadadalian kayong mag-play dito kaysa pag binibigay ko yung sa Google Drive. Pag sa Google Drive kasi ang laki ng memory na kailangan tsaka internet. So we are going to have module number 2. It is about factorials. So your goal today is for you to simplify expressions with factorials. So let us now proceed to the lesson. I have here a situation. Rose, Sheena, Bobby, and Chris are to be arranged in a row for picture taking. You have to make a question that satisfies each conditions below. So, gawa tayo ng condition satisfying the cases. Tingnan natin kung talagang naintindihan nyo na. So, case number 1. Sino makakapagbigay ng kondisyon under case number 1? Hello po. Case number 1. Tanis. Dapat daw, an element must be placed in a certain position. Ikaw gagawa ng kondisyon. Tanis? Nasaan na si Tanis? Wala ba si Tanis? How about Baguio? Baguio? Baguio.
Ma'am, ako po.
Saboko, sige.
Ano po, ma'am? Case 1 po, di ba, ma'am?
Apo.
Rose, Sheena, Bobby, and Chris are to be arranged in a row for picture taking. Chris wants to stand out, so he wants to be in the first row.
Arrange in a row for picture taking. So, ano bang gusto mo sabihin doon? Gusto niya nasa
Ano,
unahan
ma'am?
siya. Si Chris.
Ma'am.
So, sabihin na natin, kasi di ba pag nag-arrange tayo from right to left.
Hi.
So, Chris wants
Okay.
to be seated on the right side. Okay, so yun.
Ay, okay.
An example of a condition. So, thank you for trying. How about case number 2? Manugid.
When two or more elements must be grouped together.
So, magbigay ka ng sitwasyon kung saan yung dalawa or mas marami pa sa dalawa ay gusto magkakasama sila. Alin po? Hello po. Diyan pa kayo. Manugid. Manugid? Ano po? Anong answer mo?
Sheena, Bobby, Chris.
Ano? Ano si Sheena, Bobby, tsaka si Chris? Ano po? Ano si Sheena, Bobby, at Chris? Ambas. Tulungan mo na.
Yes, ma'am.
Bigay ka ng sitwasyon.
Ano, ma'am? She, Rose, Sheena, and Chris seated together in a row.
They wanted to be seated together in a row. So, pwede yun. Or Sheena, Bobby, and Chris wants to be seated together. Oh, kabaliktaran nun, yun yung case number 3. Ano naman yun sa case number 3? Let's make it realistic. Kunwari, dalawa sa kanila, yung ayaw, kung tabi. Oh, you make it as a statement, Torres.
Rose and Bobby.
Ano? Rose and Bobby? Ano po si Rose and si Bobby? Torres. Yan. Kaya mo yan, kaya mo yan. Sabihin mo lang, ayaw nila magtabi. Ayaw nila magkasama. Torres?
Rose and Bobby must not
Must not? Okay na yon, must not?
sit together.
Must not sit together or must not be grouped together. They don't want to sit together. So lahat ng yon pertains to case number 3 or has something to do with case number 3. So we are done with the review. Let us proceed to factorial. So I have here the situation earlier. Pero this time, we are going to find how many ways can we do it. We are going to arrange Rose, Sheena, Bobby, and Chris in a row for picture taking. And we are going to count how many ways can we do it. So meaning we are going to look at the arrangement, the count the number of arrangements we can make by placing or arranging 4 persons. So of course, if there are 4 persons to be arranged, ibig sabihin meron ka ring 4 na posisyon. So sa unang posisyon, meron tayong 4 na choices, pwede tayong mamili dyan. And like for example, I want to choose Rose para sa unang posisyon. Then the second position, syempre natitira na lang si Sheena, si Bobby, or si Chris. Pipili ako dyan sa kanila. O kunwari si Sheena pinili ko, syempre ang natitira na lang choice para sa pangatlong posisyon ay si Bobby and si Chris. And then if I choose Bobby, then the last position would be Chris and it will give us this arrangement. Rose, Sheena, Bobby, Chris. And what if I want Rose in the first position, I put Sheena in the second, and Chris in the third, of course, Bobby is last. So we have this arrangement. Rose, Sheena, Chris, Bobby. And how about if I chose Bobby in the second? So pwedeng sa third si Sheena or si Chris. If I choose Sheena, then Chris is last. Then we'll have this arrangement. If Chris is in the third, then fourth is Sheena. And this is the arrangement. Si Chris, ganun din gagawin natin sa kanya. Siyempre, ang choices na lang natin is si Sheena and si Bobby. Then, if Sheena, then Bobby is last. If Bobby is in the third position, then Sheena is in this last position. So as you can see, there are 6 arrangements that we made whose first position is filled with rows. Okay? Now, how about if I started with Sheena? Doing the same thing, I'll have the following arrangements. And if Bobby is in the first position, we'll have this arrangement. Then if Chris is in the first position, we'll have this arrangement. So all in all, if you look at the solutions that we have, Meron tayong 1, 2, 3, hanggang 24 na arrangements. Okay? So, if there are 4 persons to be arranged in a row, you'll have 24 arrangements. Kaya lang, if you look at the situation, it will be time consuming for you to count and of course for you to write it, to solve it this way. So we are going to look for an easier way for us to solve this problem or other way of solving the problem. And that is by looking at the positions. What are our choices? How many is our choices for each position? For the first position, ilang choices ba yung meron tayo? Ilang choices ba yung meron tayo sa unang posisyon? Manugid, bumawi ka. Diba? Ina-arrange natin si Rose, si Sheena, si Bobby, at si Chris. Ilan yung choices natin para sa unang posisyon? Ilang tao yung pinagpipilian? Manugid? 4. Okay. So kapag pumili ako ng isa dun sa 4, how many is left for the second position? Tatlo. And for the third position? Dalawa. And for the last position? Isa. And then if you look at the choices we have for each position and you multiply them, you'll have 24. And this 24 is our answer. There are 24 arrangements if there are 4 persons to be arranged in a row for picture taking. So simply, by identifying the number of choices for each position, you can get the number of arrangements that you have if you are going to arrange 4 persons in a row. Okay? And yung 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 natin dito, we can also rewrite it in a simpler way. And that is 4 factorial. So what does 4 factorial means? That means 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Anong napansin nyo dun sa factors niya? Ito yung factors, di ba? That's 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Anong napansin nyo sa factors niyan? They are what?
Counting numbers, ma'am.
They are counting numbers and at the same time, ano pa? Bukod doon. Ano napansin niyo sa kanila? It is decreasing. Ano pa? Bukod sa decreasing. Ano po? Ano yung isang sinabi? Hindi ko na-gets.
Descending.
Descending. Decreasing. Ano pa?
Kasunod.
Yes, Arabis, hindi ko narinig.
Magkakasunod, ma'am.
Magkakasunod? What is magkakasunod in English? In numbers, how does we pertain to ano? To that?
Sequence.
Sequence, or we say they are consecutive numbers. Okay? So when we say consecutive numbers, magkakasunod. Okay, naintindihan? So, what is this? I told you earlier that this is a factorial. So we call that factorial. So what does factorial mean? When we say factorial, it is a product of all positive integers, positive lang, less than or equal to a given number, or given positive integer and denoted by an integer and exclamation point. As you can see kanina, si 4 factorial, pag sinulat natin siya, 4 tapos merong kasunod na exclamation point, ang ibig sabihin nun ay product or imumultiply mo siya dun sa mga positive integers na mas mababa sa 4 and ganun din sa 4. Pero remember that i-multiply mo lang siya sa positive integers, meaning hindi kasama si 0. 0 is non-negative, non-positive. Okay? Now, ano pa? Now, yung n followed by a factorial, or I mean, n followed by an exclamation point is read as n factorial. So, kapag binigyan mo yan ng number, you substitute, kunwari 11 to n. That's 11 factorial. Kung 20, 20 factorial ang basa natin. Okay? Now, I have here different examples. We have 5 factorial up to 0 factorial. So that's 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 equals 120. This is equal to 24, yung 4 factorial. Si 3 factorial is equal to 6. Si 2 factorial is equal to 2. And 1 factorial is equal to 1. And all you have to remember is that if you have here 0 factorial, that is also equal to 1. And that is one of the rules. So what if the arrangement is in ascending order? Kunwari, naging 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5. Is it factorial? Factorial pa rin ba yun? Yes or not? Yes or no? Hmm. Ano po? Factorial pa rin ba yun? Kunwari nauna si 1, si 2, si 3, si 4, si 5. Kunwari naging ano, pinaliktad ko, naging 1 times 2 times 3. What is the product of 1 times 2 times 3? Ang bas. Ang product nun.
6, ma'am.
6. Still, it gives us the same answer.
And as you can see,
Narinig niyo ba?
the factors are arranged in decreasing order. But what if the factors are arranged in ascending order? Yes, the answer is still the same. Whether it is arranged in decreasing or ascending order, the answer is still the same because multiplication is commutative.
Narinig niyo yung video? So, anong sabi sa
Opo.
video? Anong sabi?
The same lang po.
Kasi, multiplication is? Anong sinabi niya tungkol sa multiplication? Multiplication here is commutative. Okay, don't forget that the multiplication here is commutative. Okay, ano pala to? May, ano tawag dito? Subtitle. Alright. Factorial is also equal to 1. As you can see, the factors are
Factors are arranged in decreasing order. But what if the factors are arranged in ascending order?
Galing,
Yes,
pwede pala.
the answer is still the same. Whether it is arranged in a decreasing or ascending order, the answer is still the same because multiplication is commutative.
O, di ba? Ang galing ng video. May subtitle. Now, let us have example number 1. So, in example number 1, we have A, B, C. And then, ang gagawin natin is we will rewrite it in factor. When we say factor, syempre, that's 12 factorial, di ba? So, that's 12 times 11 and so on and so forth. Pero, dapat yung isa sa kanila ay 9 factorial. So, one of the factors should be 9 factorial. So, how can we rewrite that? So we have 12 factorial with a factor. Ang pangit ko ng sulat nito. 12 factorial with a factor 9 factorial. So, paano natin susulat yan? That's 12 factorial equals 12 times 11 times 10 times, dapat isa sa factors niya ay 9 factorial. So, we'll have 9 factorial. So, ganun lang po kadali. Kasi ang kailangan lang makita niya yung factor na 9 factorial. So, we'll do the same with the other two examples. We have B and C. 15 factorial with a factor 13 factorial, and 10 factorial with a factor 5 factorial. Sige nga, who wants to answer? Letter B. Sige, you may turn on your mic. Magsagot na kayo. Sayang yung araw nyo ngayon kung di kayo nakapagsagot. Yes, sinong gusto magsagot? Ayaw nyo, tatawag na lang ako. Sige. David.
Ma'am.
David? Ay, sige. Bigay mo sa akin yung factors na ito. Dapat isa sa factors niya 13 factorial.
Ano ma'am? 15 factorial equals 15 times 14 times 13.
Times 13 ano? May nakalimutan ka. Times 13 ano? David, may nakalimutan ka. Kasi pag ang 13, ano? Ano daw?
Ay, 13 factorials, ma'am.
13 factorial. Huwag mo kalimutan yung factorial. Kasi 13 is different from 13 factorial. Intindihan? Huwag nyo silang gagawing pareho. Okay? So, ito, si letter A, dito siya. Si letter B, that's 15 factorial equals 15 times 14 times 13 factorial. Bakit siya may 13 factorial? Kasi si 13 factorial may mga kasunod pa yan. Kung kay 13 factorial, 13 times 12 times 11 times and so on hanggang makaabot ng 2 hanggang makaabot ng 1. Okay? Kaya siya merong factorial exclamation point doon. Okay? How about letter C? Sino yung nagtaas ang kamay? Wait lang, titignan ko po. Sino nagtaas ang kamay? Rabusa.
10 factorial is equal to 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial.
Okay, 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial. Bakit nyo to kailangan? Kasi later on, gagamitin niyo yan. Okay? And you really need this later sa ating tsaka dapat naintindihan niyo anong ibig sabihin nito, anong ibig sabihin nito. So these are the factors with a factor na hinihingi nila. Okay? So later malalaman nyo kung bakit kailangan alam niya. Next. So yan yung solution. Okay? Next, we have to evaluate. Tulad nito. Wait lang. Wait natin. Ay? Ano na yun? Bilis.
6 times 5 factorial. A, B,
Ayan. So we have to evaluate the following factorial notation. So yung una, 6 factorial, letter B, 6 minus 2 factorial, and letter C, 7 factorial plus 4 factorial plus 3 factorial. So what do you think is the answer in letter A? Pwede ito sa calculator kung meron kayong scientific calculus. Okay? Ano po? What is 6 factorial? That's 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And what is the answer?
720.
720. How about letter B? 6 minus 2 factorial. Ano kayang sagot dyan?
24.
Po?
24.
24. So how about for letter C? Ano naman yung letter C?
216.
216? Why is it 216?
168.
Po? 168? 168 ba sagot mo? Bakit 168? So, tingnan natin yung magiging solution yun. So, that's for letter A, we have 720. For letter B, we have 6 minus 2 factorial, and that's 4 factorial. 24 yan mali kasi nakasulat dito. Yung 48. Next, for letter C. So, ang ginawa dito, kinuha, kahit hindi nyo na gawin to kasi sa calculator, pwede naman i-diretso yan. Gawin yung 7 factorial, kung meron kayong calculator. So, kung wala, gawin nyo, multiply nyo talaga yan. So, we have 5,040 divided by 24 plus 6. And 24 plus 6 is 30, so that's 5,040 divided by 30. It gives us 168. How about for solving for x? Letter A. Ano kayang answer dyan? Solve for x. Yung value ng x. Ng variable x. Yes, anyone in the house? Ano pong value ng x sa number 1? Sabi sa letter A, sabi x is equal to 8 factorial. Yes, Ambas?
Ano mo, 40,320.
40,320. How about letter B? Velasco. Ay, sige, go.
714.
714. Rabusa.
Ma'am, sa B,
Apo.
714 din po.
Apo. About letter C, Rabusa.
4 po.
4. So, let's check. We have letter A, 40,320. Letter B, transpose lang natin yung 3 factorial. It becomes negative 3 factorial. So that's 720 minus 6, 714. And ito, we have x is equal to. So for the wrap up, remember that factorial is a product of all positive integers less than or equal to a given positive integer, and denoted by that integer and an exclamation point. And it can also be written as N factorial is equal to n times n minus 1. Tulad nung kaninang ginagawa natin, di ba? Kunwari, 11 factorial to. 11 factorial equals 11 times 11 minus 1 is 10 times 11 minus 2 is 9 times 11 minus 3 is 8 and so on and so forth until we get to 2 and 1. Hanggang makaabot tayo sa 2 and 1. Okay? Then, hanggang makaabot tayo ng 1 ha, dito. And if you have 0 factorial or 0 followed by an exclamation point, it is defined as equal to 1. Okay? Now let us proceed to our module number 3.
N and R are positive integers, and R is greater than or equal.
Tingnan mo naman ito. May mga views na pala itong mga to. For module number 3,
Permutation of n objects taken R objects, which is entitled Permutation
we have
Formula.
permutation formula.
In this
And of
lesson,
course,
you are expected
to apply formula
in finding permutation of n objects taking R at a time. Let us have a pretest to check
now
whether
to the lesson.
be placed, but you only have a tablet,
So during the quarantine
bracelet,
period, you have
and
decided to clean your room.
a
You
shirt.
found the following items: a watch, a laptop, a mobile phone, a shoes, a pair of shoes, a book, a tablet, a bracelet, and a shirt. Then suppose you want to store
each of these
the
items in a
items in the
box.
box. So there are
There are
eight items
to be placed, but we only have 3 boxes where only one
Or
thing
you
can be
can only
placed in
have
each
one
box.
thing to be placed in
How
each
many
box.
options do you
How
have?
many options do you
going
have
to
if
choose
you're
3
going to
according to its
place
importance.
according to its importance?
Among the 8 items, what will you place on the first, second, and third box? And why?
So what will be according to its importance? Huh? So if you were to ask, alin kaya dyan yung ilalagay nyo sa first box, sa second, and sa third box? Avendaño. Diyan ba si Avendaño? Pabilang nga po muna ako ilan yung ilan yung babae, ilan yung lalaki. Attendance lang tayo. Pabilang po muna ilan yung babae, ilan yung lalaki. Okay. Nandito ngayon, 26. Yung nandito na sa klase, wag na mag-attendance sa kung nasa modular kayo. Kung meron man dito. Tulad ni Jewel, nasa modular. Di ka naman modular, online ka naman.
Oo, wala yan.
Valladolid. Valladolid.
Po.
Kung ikaw pa pipiliin, ano yung ilalagay mo sa unang box, sa pangalawa at sa pangatlo?
Sa unang box po is watch, laptop, tablet, tsaka mobile phone.
Isang item lang per box.
Ay,
Di lahat mo naman eh. Kinuha mo na lahat.
Laptop.
Laptop.
Tapos sa second box, book. Tapos sa third
Phone.
box, shoes.
Shoes. Okay. So, laptop, phone, and shoes. Yun ang kanya. How about you?
Ma'am, sa first box po, laptop.
Pangalawa,
Second, ano po, bracelet.
bracelet. Pangatlo,
Sa third po, watch.
watch. So, kung ako din naman, kung wala akong laptop, tapos pinapili ako, anong ilalagay ko sa first box, ilalagay ko talaga laptop. Diba? How about you, Tanis?
Sa first box po, tablet. Second
Second.
box, mobile phone. And third
Pangatlo?
box, book.
Book. Okay. So, syempre, magkakaiba tayo ng priorities, magkakaiba tayo ng choices. So, magkakaiba rin tayo ng mga pinipili. What items should we put in the first and the second and third box. So, kung ako yung papipiliin, if I were to put something in the box, I'll go for the first box, yung laptop, second box, yung phone, at sa third box, yung because these are the things I usually use when I work, okay, or when I teach. Now, syempre magkakaiba tayo ng choices. Now, we are asked to solve for the number of all possible ways in placing these things. Remember that there are 8 things to be placed, but there are only 3 boxes. And of course, magkakaiba tayo ng choices, so magkakaiba din yung arrangement ng pagpili natin, right? Now, of course, to do this, pwede natin gamitin yung ginawa natin kanina. Na ang ginawa natin is we identify the number of choices we have for each box or for each position. Di ba? Ginawa na natin yung kanina. So, sa unang box, how many choices ba ang meron tayo? Yung number of choices ang ano natin dyan, ang hanapin natin. Ilang choices ba meron tayo sa unang box?
8,
Ilang?
ma'am.
8. Of course, there are 8 items. Ibig sabihin, there are 8 choices also. So, sa unang box, pwede natin sabihin that I have 8 choices. How about for the second box?
7.
7. And of course, dun sa last box, we have 6 choices. And if we multiply this, we'll get the answer. Okay? So, kapag tinignan nyo yung 8 times 7 times 6, we can also write this to factorial. Paano kaya natin i-write to factorial? Hanggang 6 lang siya. So, anong nawala? Nawala si? Nawala si what? If we rewrite this, wait lang, i-screen capture ko lang. Then let's have this. Diba kanina, remember that we can get the answer just by multiplying this. And what would be our answer here? What is 8 times 7 times 6?
336.
Po?
336.
336. And actually, itong si 8 times 7 times 6, we can rewrite it into a factorial. Ano bang nawawala sa kanya? You have 8 times 7 times 6. Anong nawawala? Yung mga kasunod ni 6. Ano yung kasunod ni 6?
5.
5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 or simply 5 factorial. Diba? Kung nawala siya, ibig sabihin nag-cancel out tayo. So, ibig sabihin sa denominator, we also have 5 factorial. Kinancel out yan, kaya naging ganito. Okay? Malinaw yan, ha? Kaya siya naging 8 times 7 times 6. And kapag sinulat natin to into factorials, this is actually, ito, si 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 is actually 8 factorial. Ito, still the same, 5 factorial. Okay? So we can say that this is 8 factorial and this is 5 factorial. Now, pertaining to the problem or the situation, what does 8 factorial or 8 mean in the problem? Ano ba yung 8 doon? At ano ba yung 5? Iyan natin, i-relate natin siya sa problem, sa situation na binigay kanina. Para saan kaya nanggaling si 8? Saan nanggaling si 5? Ano si 8 when it comes to the problem?
Yung items, ma'am.
Yung items po, yung number
Ano, yung hindi
of
napili.
items. Yung 8, di ba, yung number of items. How about yung 5?
Yung mga di napili.
Okay, the not chosen items. Kung 5 yung chosen, how many were chose? Ilan? Saan natin nakuha? Tatlo. So, ibig sabihin, si 8, si 5, itong 5, nanggaling siya dun sa 8, pinili natin yung tatlo. Okay? So, that's 8 minus 3 factorial. And now, what if, or I am going to represent 8 as n, at yung napili natin ay yung r, which is 3. So, looking at our equation here, we have 8 factorial divided by 8 minus 3 factorial. Okay? So, that's permutation is equal to yung 8 times 7 times 6. Si 8 times 7 times 6 ay equal to 8 factorial divided by 8 minus 3 factorial. If we use these letters as our representation, itong mga letters na to, pwede nating sabihin that this is n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. So, itong nasa baba, ito yung not chosen. At itong nasa taas ay yung number of items. Okay? So, we already have the formula for permutation. Ano yung formula natin for permutation? That's n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. And that is permutation of n objects taken r at a time. So, this is the formula for permutation. Nakakaawa naman yung diba? Nakakaawa. Kasi so, do you understand how did we get the formula for permutation? So, nanggaling siya actually sa factorial, and we relate the numbers to the problem, and then we get the formula. So, going back to, no, pinano ng ano eh, tubig na mainit, binusan. Oh, ayan, sana. Yan. So we let n be the number of items, r be the number of chosen items. So in permutation, this is the formula. That's permutation of n taken r at a time is equal to n factorial divided by n minus r factorial, where n and r are positive integers. Remember that it is a positive integer. At yung r natin is greater than or equal to 1 or less than or equal to n. Okay? Then the expression permutation of, yung expression na to, yung NPR, is read as permutation of n objects taken R at a time. Okay? Then the other notations are written in this way. So, pwede naka-parenthesis and R, or pwede rin namang parenthesis, nasa taas yung n, nasa baba yung. Okay? So, ito yung permutation formula, and if we solve the problem, we'll have 8 factorial divided by 8 minus 3 factorial. That's 8 factorial divided by 5 factorial. And it will give us 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial divided by 5 factorial. Cancel out 5 factorial. We'll have 8 times 7 times 6, and that is equal to 336 ways. Okay? May question ba dito? So let us have an example. Paano natin sasagutan to? That's 6 factorial. Wait lang. Okay. So let's solve this. So for letter A, we have, substitute lang natin siya to the formula. Wait lang. Ayusin natin. Nakikita niya ba? So for, remember yung formula natin, the formula is permutation of n taken r at a time is equal to n factorial divided by n minus factorial. Ayusin natin yung equal sign. Nakapantay siya sa pin ko. So this will be equal to 6 factorial divided by 6 minus 6 factorial equals 6 factorial divided by 0 factorial, and this is, what is 6 factorial? That's 720. Remember that 0 factorial is 1. How about here? We have 10 factorial. This is our n, this is our r. 10 minus 4 factorial equals 10 factorial, or 10 factorial divided by 6 factorial. So this will be 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 factorial divided by 6 factorial. So pwede na tayo mag-cancel out. What is 10 times 9 times 8 times 7? Ano yung value ng 10 times 9 times 8 times 7?
5,040.
5,040. So we have 5,000. Uy, may nagbilang na ba ng attendance natin? Pakibilang naman habang ginagawa ko to. Ambas. So we have 12 factorial divided by 12 minus 5 factorial. So it will give us 12 factorial divided by 7 factorial. That's 12 times 7 times 8 times 10. Okay. Or simply, we can get the value of 12 factorial. Pwede din naman yun. Or pwede rin naman, gawin natin 12 times 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 factorial divided by 7 factorial. Then cancel out. What will be the answer?
95,040.
95,040. Okay. Then, let's go back to... Saan na yung attendance natin? Dali, i-report ko muna yung attendance. 20 na lang tayo Punti na po konti. 13 girls, ilan boys? Di pa naman ako nag-check ng attendance. Sino ba yung nawala? Sino ba yung nawala kanina? Dalawa yun. Ay, nandito ka naman sa kesa ka. Maba ka. Ako masanggi ka na rin. Yung ilaw sa sabihin. Ito ko. Ano ba talaga? 12. Okay. Sino yung yung dalawang nawala? Yung sa buko, umalis agad May dalawang nawala kanina. Sino yung dalawang nawala? Yan, attendance wala ako Section. Guerrero. Anong date ngayon? So, habang naghihintay kayo sa akin, try nyo nga yan. Sige nga. Maingay. 25, 26, 26. 26, 2021. Ilan yung boys? 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. Ilan daw? Ilan mo ito? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5. Boys, 6. And sino yung nawala? Magbilang. Wait nga. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 boys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Sino yung nawala kanina? Meron pa
Si Baguio.
Sino? Sino?
Si Baguio po.
Si Baguio tsaka? 13 na. Sino pa yung isa? Meron pa Matagal naman silang umattend kaya kasama na sila sa atin. Sino pa? May isa pa.
Si Aquino po.
Aquino. So, bali 14 girls. 14 plus 4, 18. Oh, ay, naka 28 tayo. Alam niyo kung bakit? May nag-attendance sa ano, sa... Wait lang, copy ko muna ito. May nag-attendance sa modular. Attendance lang naman ang ginawa nila. Si Santiago, si Tato, si Harapa, Bea Nicole, Geo Cado, Blancuesco, Hidalgo, tsaka si Purito. Ito nga, bibigyan ko sila ng gagawin. Yung pusa ko nababaliw na eh. Pusin na natin to. So what about if you're given this example and we have to solve for the permutation or the missing variable or unknown variable. So let me screenshot yung mga examples first. Then ituturo ko sa inyo how to solve it. Nasa na ba ako? So ang gagawin natin is we are going to solve for the unknown of this. Hindi pala siya naka-share tab. So ito yung example number 2 natin. We're going to solve for the unknown, which is R. Sa letter A. Sa letter B naman, ang unknown ay yung N. So let us start first with letter A. And to solve this, ang gagawin lang natin is, of course, identify or substitute the values dun sa formula. Ano ba yung formula natin? Remember our formula for permutation of n objects taken r at a time is n factorial divided by n minus 3 factorial. Okay? Wait, n minus 3. Bakit n minus 3? N minus r factorial. Minus 3 agad eh. Okay. So, ano yun? May Nako, Sergente. Nasali ko pa ba yan? Patapos na tayo. Ang gugulo lang. So, we have permutation of 9 taken r at a time is equal to, substitute natin yung n. N is 9. 9 factorial divided by 9 minus r, kasi hindi pa natin alam yung value ng r, equals 9 factorial divided by 9 minus r factorial. And that is equal to 504. So, ang gagawin lang natin is we will get the value of r. So, all we need is to solve this. Solve natin yan. So, we have 9 factorial divided by 9 minus r factorial is equal to 504. So, ang gawin natin is we multiply both sides by 9 minus r para mawala yun nasa denominator and para ma-solve natin yung r. So, this is cancelled and we'll have 9 factorial equals 504 times 9 minus r factorial. Remember that all we need here is the r. So ang gagawin natin is we will divide both sides by 504. Tayo natin yung equal sign dito. No? Using natin siya. Yan. So cancel na to. Then we'll have, what is the value of 9 factorial? Pakisolve nga po yung 9 factorial. What is 9 factorial? 9 times 8. Oh, kung walang calcul, ganun na lang sa cellphone. Kung may calcul kayo, kahit scientific sa cellphone, that will do. Pwede na yan. Ano po? What is 9 factorial? Ano pong value ng 9 factorial? May nagmo-multiply ba? Ay, dyan pa kayo.
Ma'am, yung ano lang nung 9 factorial.
Ako, 9 factorial lang.
362,880.
Ulit. 336.
362,880.
362. 880. Okay. Divided by 504. O, kunin mo yan. Divide mo yan. Then we have 9 minus r factorial. Anong answer dito?
720.
Okay, 720 equals 9 minus r factorial. Naalala nyo what 720 is in factorial? Ano value ni 720 sa factorial? Anong factorial yung may value ng 720?
6.
6. That's 6 factorial. 700 is equal to 6 factorial. So, ang gawin natin dito, we equated to 6 factorial equals 9 minus r factorial. So, to get 6 factorial, what should be my r? Ano kaya yung magiging value ng r ko? R would be equal to
3.
3.
9 minus 3 is 6 factorial. Sa iba, dun sa solution sa video, ang ginawa niya, si 6 factorial equals 9 minus r factorial. Kinapin niya lang yung values na 6 at saka yung 9 minus r. Tapos, nag-transpose siya, kaya naging 6 minus 9 equals negative r. This is negative 3. Negative 3 equals negative r. So, r is equal to positive 3. Nag-multiply siya ng negative 1. Which is the same also. Or pwede rin naman, ganito. Tulad ng ginawa ko, nag-isip lang ako ng number with the rest. Pwedeng i-substitute natin dito sa r for us to get the value of r. Okay? Now, how about for the second example, or letter B of this example number 2. Let us solve. Ito naman, ang kinaibahan niya is ang ito-solve natin dito ay yung n. So, kapag isi-solve mo yung n, ganito po ang gagawin. Of course, substitute mo muna si P or permutation of n taken 3 at a time dun sa formula that is n factorial divided by n minus yung r natin ay 3. 3 factorial. Then remember, this is equal to 990. Okay? So, ang gagawin lang natin is we will copy this. And have n factorial You have n factorial divided by n minus 3 factorial equals 990. So, anong gagawin natin dyan? Remember, si n factorial can be expressed this way. Diba? Pwede natin siya express ng ganito. N factorial, kung naaalala niyo yung definition ng factorial, equals n times, ano nga yun? N minus times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3 until we get to 2 times 1. Okay? So, bakit natin siya express sa ganito? For us to cancel kung ano yung nasa denominator. Okay? So, si n factorial, substitute natin sa kanya ito. Okay. So, we'll have n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 hanggang makuha natin yung n minus 3 factorial. N minus 3 factorial. And sa denominator, meron din tayong n minus 3 factorial. And this is equal to 990. Now, we can cancel n minus 3 factorial. So, ang natitira na lang ay yung ang ingay ng pusa ko. N times n minus 1 times n minus 2 na lang natitira, which is equal to 990. What does n minus 1, n minus 2 mean? Remember, sa factorial, this means that they are consecutive. Magkakasunod sila na number. So, all you have to do is to think of a number na magkakasunod, tapos kapag minultiply natin sila, you'll get 990 as the answer. So, anong numbers yung magkakasunod and at the same time kapag minultiply, they are consecutive? And if you multiply them, you'll get 990 as the answer. Anong numbers yun? Isip kayo ng number. Anong number yun? Ay, naku, nandito ka na naman. Tumaingay ka rin, ah. Diyan pa kayo? Anong number yung kapag minultiply natin sa isa't isa, we'll get 990?
11 times 10 times 9.
11 times 10 times 9. So, ganun lang. So, yung n natin ay 11. Yung n minus 1, 11 minus 1 is 10. Yung n minus 2 or 11 minus 2 is 9. So, if you multiply them, you will get 990. Okay? So, alin dyan yung n natin? Siyempre ito. So, our n now is equal to 11. Naintindihan po? So, ganun lang siya kadali. Don't forget na nasa chat box naman yung yung link nito and I will post the recorded video sa kung gusto nyong balikan. Okay? So, ito yung solution for letter A. Katulad ng ginawa natin. Yan. So, R is equal to 3. While in letter B, there's a solution. Okay. How about for letter A and B? So, all we have to do is to solve the problem. We have in letter A, in how many ways can the letters of the COVID or word COVID be arranged if all the letters are used? Sa letter B naman, how many different ways can the 6 grab food motorcycles be parked if there are 8 available parking spaces? So for letter A, ang gagawin natin is, pwede ba itong sulatan? Ay, hindi pala pwede. Hindi pala pwedeng sulatan, ano? So for letter A and B, ang gawin natin, screenshot ko muna. Then we will solve it. Madali lang naman to i-solve. Very easy. Then after this, you'll answer na your worksheet that serve as your attendance today. So sa number 3, so number 3, in how many ways can the letters of the word COVID be arranged if all the letters are used? So gamitin natin siya, gamitin natin yung formula. Ibig sabihin, permutation of ilan ba yung letters ng COVID? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. And of course, you have to use all the letters. Ibig sabihin, 5, taken 5 at a time. So 5 objects taken 5 at a time. So that is 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 5 factorial. So it will give us 5 factorial divided by 0 factorial. And 5 factorial is what? What is the value of 5 factorial? Ano pong value ng 5 factorial? Diyan pa kayo?
120.
Bilisan nyo para matapos na tayo. This is 120. Correct. How about for letter C? Ang gagawin lang naman natin sa letter C is we will identify the number of course, to solve the problem. And we are asked to solve for the situation where there are 8 Grab Food motorcycles and there are 8 available parking spaces. So permutation of 8 taken 6 at a time. 8 kasi yung parking spaces, pero 6 lang yung Grab motorcycles. So we have 8 factorial divided by 8 minus 6 factorial equals 8 factorial divided by 2 factorial. So what will be the answer? This is 8 times, ito natin lagay. This is 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 3 lang. Or simply, you can get the value of 8 factorial and 2 factorial, then you'll get the answer. So what will be the answer here?
20,160.
Ano po? 20?
20,160.
Number na lang, what? Ano number ulit? Paki-dictate yung number.
20160.
20160. Okay, so there are 20,160 ways. At ito naman, 120 ways. Okay, so let's look at the solution. We have 120 ways. The other one is 20,160 ways. Okay, so don't forget the formula. That's permutation. Ito, ang basa dito ha, sa NPR na to is permutation of n objects taken r at a time, which is n factorial, which is equal to n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. Okay, so I'll give guide dun sa kung ano yung sasagutan nyo. Then, bibigay ako sa inyo ng instruction kung saan nyo siya ipapasa. Tapos, let's now proceed to our worksheet and quizzes. Let me send you the link. Hanapin ko lang ha. Hanapin ko lang talaga. Ang section ko na po, section 1. So, pag nakita nyo na yung pangalan nyo dito sa screen, kasi I'll be sharing my screen. Grabe, di pa nagsasagot yung section. Luna. Raise your hand if you're now answering. Share ko sa inyo yung screen kung makikita nyo yung nandito na sa akin yung scores. Nandito sa akin or so, ibig sabihin yung mga hindi naka-raise ng hand, hindi pa nagsasagot. Velasco, Avendaño, Rob, Patricio, Valencia, tsaka David, Rabusa. Paki-raise yung hand, magsagot na. Sabi niya ako mag-ilaw daw yan. Sobrang kailangan niya, hilaw pa rin. Sabi niya wala sa... Siguro hindi mo pinagyan ng Julia. Para kami na alam mo naman yung pag-ilaw.
Ma'am,
Yes.
dun po ba sa 10 at 13, yung x po ba doon, multiplication?
Multiplication.
Thank you po.
Don't forget to look at your score ha. Tapos kung ano yung mali nyo, syempre, itama nyo pagdating sa quiz. Para makabawi kayo. Pag tapos na, pwede nang mag-left ha. Pag nakita nyo sa screen yung scores nyo.
Ma'am. Ma'am. Ma'am.
Bye po, ma'am.